Today we're going to make a zucchini crisp. This is a great thing to do when your zucchini gets a little too big, or at the end of the season when you've done absolutely everything that there is possibly to do with zucchini. This actually turns out tasting like apple pie, believe it or not, and it'll be a great favorite in your family, I'm sure, as it is in ours. The ingredients that you need for this recipe are 6 cups of zucchini, peeled, cored, and sliced in apple-like chunks. You need 1/2 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 3/4 cups of sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3 cups of flour, and 3/4 cups of brown sugar. And these are some things like the cinnamon, brown sugar, and sugar are divided up between the crust and the filling and the topping. Alright, we have the zucchini cut up, so what we're going to do now, put it in a Dutch oven. We're going to add 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And we'll put the lid on. We'll cook it at medium heat for about 15 minutes or until everything's nice and soft, stirring occasionally. Alright, the zucchini is now soft and absorbed all the lemon juice. It's looking very apple-like. So what we're going to do is add 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to mix that in there. We're going to stir it around until all the sugar is melted. Looks pretty good. Now we'll get the crust prepared and pour this over the crust. Now to make the crust, we have 3 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and this is a cup of butter that's been softened. We'll mix that all together and make it a good crumbly crust. Then we'll put it in our pan. Alright, this crust is all nice and crumbly and ready to go in. So we're going to do it in a Dutch oven. You can also do it in a Pyrex pan, like a 9x13 Pyrex pan. You basically just put it all in here. Basically just dump it all in here like that. And squished around up the sides as far as it'll go. And I did butter this Dutch oven really well, so the crust doesn't stick when it's cooking. Make sure the bottom's all covered. At this point, we've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And when we're done getting the crust prepared, we'll stick it in the oven and cook it for about 10 minutes. Alright, that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be all the way up the sides. You can also do this in a camp oven over the charcoals. But all my camp ovens right now are in use, so we're going to use this in the oven. Now I'm going to stick it into the preheated 350 degree oven. We'll cook it for about 10 minutes and pull it out and add the zucchini mixture. Alright, our crust is all ready. Looks beautiful, so we'll dump our zucchini mixture in. It's a watery mixture, but that's okay. It's supposed to be. Spread it around a bit. And then we cook it for another 20 minutes. And while we're doing that, we will make the topping and put that on at the end, and then cook it for another 5 minutes. For the topping for our zucchini crisp, we have a 1/4 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon. We'll mix that together. And then after the zucchini mixture in the crust has cooked for about 20 minutes, we will sprinkle this over the top, throw it back in the oven, and bake it for an additional 5 minutes. This will give it a little extra crunch on top. Well, now the zucchini mixture is all nice and bubbly. Crust is nice and brown, so we're going to add the topping. I think this time I'm going to bake it for the last 5 minutes with the lid off. Get a nice crispy crust on the top. And there we go. There's our tasty zucchini crisp, done in a 12-inch Dutch oven in the oven. Brown and bubbly.